year, the theme was data. This year, the theme is change. But aren't we always changing? Why change this year? What makes change different this year?
Change is happening all the time, but this is an exceptionally changing year. In fact, the graphics that we had designed are expressing this idea of video almost being ripped at the seams, the fabric, the skin of the video, because there's so much disruption, and I don't like to use that word, but there is a lot of disruption, investment, new ideas, new platforms. Companies are having to aggressively change their strategy even faster than they were before. So change is, is something you have to grasp, and you've really got to be, we hope at an event like this where you can really meet the people who are putting those changes into place and demanding that new change take place all around them, because they need the best partners, the best thinkers to help them do it.
Who is embracing change? Who would you say the best change makers right now?
Oh, there's so many different companies doing different things on different levels. I know, for example, Dish is coming out with an OTT service. It's very under wraps. They don't want to talk about it yet, but Facebook is doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But I mean, there's a lot of work going on beyond the scenes that's very secretive. People who are much more visible at this event include, for example, the programmatic company called Audience Express. Walt Horstman just showed the first demo live in public of a programmatic TV, buying platform. That is real change, because all of those companies are keeping things under wraps. They're very secretive. Walt was willing to say, "Hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we're changing the industry," and be open and honest about it. So that might not be innovative interactive television, but it is part of driving the monetization of this industry. And then also Sanjay Makwan, who is the new head of the Media Labs of NBC Universal, he's representing NBC's interests from a variety of perspectives. So he's in charge of innovation for their television programming, for their parks, and for the studios, for the film studios. So NBC, who is very forthcoming at this event, is embracing change, embracing innovation. It seems as if a whole philosophy. So I would also look to NBC and companies like Showtime, for example, who are willing to invest the money, invest in resources to lead their broadcasters down the path of connected interactive television, immersive interactive theaters, multiple devices using interactive television. There are some broadcasters who are really doing exciting things. There are also small little companies that we have here, Joys, Screens, UITV. They're a fantastic interface design firm. They're doing really innovative UX work. It's everywhere. I could turn the point to all kinds of people, and I can pretty much tell you, something exciting that they're doing. We try to bring the most talented, the most passionate, and the smartest people together so that they could all, meet each other. It's exciting.
Well, you certainly succeed. This is one of the most exciting conferences that I go to, and I go to many. So if you were to look forward to next year at this time, based on the rate of change and who you see doing certain things, where would you give me some predictions? Where would you say the media industry will be?
I think connected TV is going to come out of the woodwork with more ACR. I think the connected television manufacturers are probably looking towards CES. They've been keeping their platforms under wraps. They've been very secretive, but I think it will reveal itself in the next year more so. They've announced certain things in the past, but then they seem to have gone back into hiding a bit. So we'll see. I think that the advertising community is very passionate, and there's so much interest in figuring out how to measure and how to track interactive advertising. The Adobe Nielsen relationship, Rentrack, ComScore, we had Clairvoyant here. There's all these emergent measurement companies who are trying to really grasp the huge opportunity to track and measure video content across all platforms, and that is just going to continue to change because the platforms are emerging fast and people are moving online in greater numbers. So you can continue to watch that market day in and day out. We also have a lot of really amazing interactive storytellers here. We invited some very advanced filmmakers who are experimenting with interactive storytelling, and they're also working with commercial companies. And so the type of work they're doing is still very difficult to do, but there are people who are doing it. And we've got 5 really strong people wandering around learning about what's possible in the commercial world.
Well, it looks like an exciting future, and thank you for illuminating us to what's going on.
What LingoSpot does is we analyze what's happening in a video and tell you exactly, precisely what's happening within the video. Instead of just telling you what the video is about, we'll extract information about who they're talking about, the locations, the companies. So if you're interested in finding out more about how the company is doing stock-wise, or who's the CEO that I'm seeing on TV, or it could be the actor or the performers, we can automatically find information for you so that you don't have to go search it yourself. So there are multiple ways for us to enhance the video this way. So it could be on the primary TV where you're switching channels and you're seeing something new on TV and you are trying to decide whether you want to watch it. We can empower a button that says, tell me more about what this is. Because we know what's happening in the video, we'll tell you who the actor might be, who the player might be, who this politician might be, so that you can be more engaged with what you're watching and be able to make a better decision about what you want to watch. So we can also tell you what are the interesting clips on the video that you might have missed. So we can give you information about what is the most interesting news topic for the day, or in business, in sports, in finance, so that you can go through the list of videos and be able to see, oh, I'm interested in finding out more about X and Y. I can go and select the things that I'm most interested in. Because we dissect the video this way, you can jump to the point where you're most interested in. So instead of watching an hour SportsCenter, you can jump to the game or the sports or the players that you're most interested in and see what's going on there. So that's the type of new navigation and discovery that we can power, because we go inside the video and tell you what's going on inside, so that you don't have to watch the entire show to find out the best parts. So that's the type of new interactivity and navigation and discovery that LingoSpot is trying to power to improve the way content is discovered, navigated, and consumed.
The TV of Tomorrow show is great, and Sim loves being part of it every year. You get all the forward-looking people in the industry, and in order to develop some of the new measurement solutions that Sim is working on, it's really helpful to get the scope of a look at everything that is going on, from a technology to innovative content development and innovative advertising models. So we love it every year. We're glad to be part of it. Thanks.
One of the things that's happening in premium video, especially as the game of arbitrage is being played by agencies, they're making a rub on that spread, right? More and more. The reality is that more premium video is going to be bought on a reserve upfront basis, yep. Right? So I'm curious if you, as a marketer or advertiser, are driving that agenda and advocating it, or are you still driving sort of the buys on the DSP programmatically, which is how it's done more efficiently on a campaign basis?
I'm driving reserve buys with big partners but it's for one reason, which is that my upfront deals with like our YouTube deal that was announced, our large YouTube deal, right? That's because we also get capability building. So at the end of the day, we don't actually know what great video really looks like, because right now we're buying 15s and 30s on YouTube. I don't know if I need to buy that. In India specifically, we buy 21-second spots that actually deliver greater ROI than a 15 and 30, or in some cases in India, again, our teams have optimized where the first 7 seconds of the, you can skip this ad. In the beginning of our ad, they go, you don't want to skip this ad. No, you want to continue to watch this ad. And the numbers, so it helps our fulfillment. So the reason why we're investing upfront with YouTubes and Facebooks and and soon a couple of other folks of the world are to build the video capability. So training and education, and that gets me. Now I don't really need. There's some pricing.
So let's go back to that, because here's one of the things that I'm having a hard time reconciling as a business person right now in the ecosystem. You're doubling down on data. That is what is enabling you to see higher ROI from legacy channels and the ROI you're seeing from Facebook, right? Facebook, YouTube have tonnage. But at the end of the day, you can't extract any meaningful data from them that you can start to really sort of utilize cross-platform, right? Especially now that Facebook is really doubling down on being its own video publisher as well. I mean, what's that long tail, right? Because the reality is that with the social channels becoming publishing platforms, we're sort of getting more integration with TV holistically and video across channel, both digital and linear. But then we've got a whole new set of sort of, platforms that are proliferating that continue to have that bifurcation. How do you stay ahead as a marketer?
I mean, at the end of the day, that's why you have to double down on data and then the capturing, analysis, and deployment of that data. And in some respects, you're playing the same game that the agencies are playing with the desks. So, like, look, right now I can do reach curves across all my video and television all at once, and the agencies provide
unduplicated reach curves.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, to what extent we believe in it, yes. And the agencies have built software and tech that is the best in class in the world, around the globe, by the way. And so we're able to look at that and do that right now. And now the question becomes is, how do we get that data, and then how do we own the data, port it back into our partner systems, and then pull that data back out and continue to be ahead of the curve in terms of each of the platforms that are coming up. But we don't have a choice. We as marketers can't let the bifurcation in the market battles that are happening from our vendors and partners change the way that we have to run our business.
dunnhumby is the world's largest customer science company. And what we do is we personalize every point of the funnel on media for brands and retailers. We'll take our first-party data and really look at it beyond just demographics and purchase intent. We really care about the customer and what the customer wants. So if the customer is used to drinking Coke and it's a Coke household, we'll only serve them Coke ads. We'll never sell them a product that they never buy. It doesn't make sense. That means that we don't know them. And what we want to try to do is live in a world where every media channel can have that type of personalization at a scale, not only in the US but globally. So the question is, how do I reach more people than just the Coke buyers? What if I want to build the category? And the category of carbonated beverage is huge, and really what we want to do is, if you buy the category, then you're known buyers. At least we're saying people who buy water, they're never going to try to buy a carbonated beverage. And what we do is we look for overall sales of that. So we're actually building new segments based on what people have bought or they haven't bought in a long time. And that's really what we're doing. The only thing that we don't allow of our data is to competitively conquest our competitors. So we'll never let Coors buy a Bud Light segment, because at the end of the day, while it may be good to try to steal that market share away from the competitor, and actually that person's so price sensitive that it wouldn't really matter what offer you gave them. So they're going to just buy whatever's lowest anyway. So that's where we really bring in our science and saying it's all about the loyal customer. And on average, one loyal buyer is equal to 12 non-committal buyers in our data.
Hi, I'm here at the TV of Tomorrow. I'm really excited to be at the center where a lot of the conversations are going on about how the television industry and the TV ad industry is changing to a digital future. And I just got off a great panel session with Beth Rockwood of Discovery and Jim Gagan of Mediahead, and we talked about the implications of an industry that's trying to shift from selling only media outputs, selling and buying sex age gross rating points, to buying business outcomes. I mean, truly being able to deliver against the need for a quick service restaurant to know how their TV ads actually drove store sales that week, not the year before on a media mix modeling basis. And it's pretty exciting when you think about that. I mean, I think there's almost a second life that can come into TV, and not that TV's lost its first life. It's nothing like the newspaper industry of 15 or 20 years ago. But I think we're going to see a real new power in television advertising as it starts to better account for the power it delivers in the market. Because I think, as Beth said on stage, it's probably not done the best job at marketing itself and its power. Maybe because it didn't have to for the longest time, and now it does. And so that's that probably is the thing that most excites me right now about that's going on in the industry.